17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. Attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
Play on foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, receive.
Welcome to this episode of Biker Wars with Bill Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about the Bandido indictment that got Brandon locked up. Shout out to everybody that takes the time to watch this show. I appreciate you taking the time. It's been some sad news recently. Before we get into that, I want to thank everybody that subscribed to the channel. We got 14,500 plus subscribers, and I can't thank you enough. We're going up every single day, and I appreciate it. Thank you. So let's get to the story at hand. So there was an indictment that went down in Texas, and a lot of people got picked up. In this indictment, 14 members and associates of the violent motorcycle gang indicted by RICO and murder charges. The indictment was unsealed today in Southern District of Texas, charging 14 members and associates of the Bandidos outlaw motorcycle gang. Their alleged roles in criminal enterprise, engaging in murder, robbery, arson, narcotics distribution, witness intimidation, in and around Houston. The indictment accused defendants of various crimes, including engaging in conspiracy to commit racketeering or RICO, committing violent crimes in furtherance of gang, such as murder, attempted murder, assault. The indictment alleges Bandidos are a self-identified outlaw motorcycle organization with members of approximately 1,500 to 2,000 in the United States and an additional 1,000 to 1,500 members internationally, including in Mexico. Today's indictment is an important step to eliminating the Bandidos motorcycle gang. I don't think that's going to happen, especially down in Texas. They're pretty big. They're waging war on the streets, they said. Criminal behavior like this has no place in America. The Department of Justice is fully committed to bringing peace back to our communities, ensuring the safety of the public in the Southern District of Texas paramount concerns, said the U.S. Attorney. The indictments are not only alleged shocking crimes of violence, but also allege that these offenses were committed openly, or any innocent members of the public that could have been hurt or killed. According to the court document statements in the court beginning in 2019, a violent turf war began to erupt when the Bandidos and the Beast, or Brothers East, it goes by, a rival outlaw motorcycle gang in the Houston area, as part of a turf war. The Bandidos' national leadership allegedly put a smash-on-sight order to commit violent assaults, including murder against Beast members. Turf war has resulted in exchange of gunfire on public roadways in public establishments with innocent civilians present, according to the charges. And there's been a lot of people picked up in this sweep, and Brandon is one of them. You guys all know Brandon.
I'm Brandon, man, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
San Antonio, they're the baddest chapter in the nation.
So he was picked up in the indictment. They said it was a 6-year investigation. Hey, they've been investigating this for a long time. But I did not know that Brandon was on Survivor. So I got a video that we're going to check out. And he faces 20 years in prison. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get to the video. Hit the like button.
Hance, best known for his appearances on Survivor South Pacific and Survivor Caramone, has been arrested on serious charges, including racketeering conspiracy and arson. Hance, 33, is one of 14 individuals indicted as members or associates of the Bandidos Outlaw Motorcycle Club, following a large-scale federal investigation into violent gang activities in Houston, Texas. According to the indictment, the Bandidos engaged in an escalating turf war with the rival B-East motorcycle gang starting in 2019. National leaders of the Bandidos reportedly issued a smash-on-sight order, instructing members to assault or kill any East members encountered. This directive led to a series of violent incidents, including assaults, shootings, and acts of arson. Hance, allegedly known within the gang by the nicknames Loco and Gundrop, is specifically charged with conspiracy to commit racketeering.
And that's not good. Even to have a nickname like that is probably not good.
And arson. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison for each charge. His involvement reportedly includes planning and carrying out acts of violence intended to further the gang's dominance in the Houston area. The broader indictment against the Bandidos highlights the organization's involvement in various criminal activities, including murder, attempted murder, drug trafficking, and other violent crimes. Federal authorities describe the Bandidos as a transnational criminal enterprise that used violence and intimidation to maintain control over illicit activities, particularly within Texas. This investigation was a collaborative effort among multiple law enforcement agencies, aiming to disrupt and dismantle the Bandidos' operations. Officials emphasized that the charges represent a significant step toward reducing gang-related violence and protecting local communities from organized criminal activities. Brandon Hance's arrest has sent shockwaves through both the Survivor fan base and the wider public, given his prior reality television fame. While Hance was known on Survivor for his volatile behavior and emotional outbursts, few anticipated his alleged involvement in organized crime on this scale. His legal proceedings are expected to draw considerable media attention in the coming months as the case unfolds.
Shit is crazy. What do you guys think of this whole situation? I want to know what your opinion is. This is not looking good. So he's facing 20 years on each of the charges. So he's facing 40 years. It's a long time. But he wasn't charged with murder and all this other stuff like these other people were charged with. This one guy, Tech9, was charged with conspiracy to commit murder and aid of racketeering, attempted murder, and aid of racketeering assault, and aid of racketeering use of a firearm during retaliation of a crime of violence in connection with a shooting of a rival gang member. Also, they were charged with distributing cocaine, 3 counts of possession with intent to distribute cocaine. If convicted, they face a maximum penalty of life in prison. Not looking good. So what do you guys think is going to happen with all of this? And I got a lot more content on the way. I've been doing a lot of interviews, so if you guys don't know, part 3 of John, the international president for the Thunder Guards MC, is tonight, 10 o'clock. And then after that, we got a whole bunch of different people. Chris Life Willard, we got his interview dropping. That's like a 6-part interview. That one's pretty good. And then we got Eric Audet. He spent 3 years in a Pakistani prison.
How you doing? I'm Eric Audet. I wrote the book 3 Years in Pakistan, the Eric Audet story. If you haven't seen it on Locked Up Abroad or my documentary 3 Years in Pakistan, you should check it out on Amazon. Also, I'm chatting with Staxx.
Yeah, that one's dropping soon. I got a lot of content dropping. I know it's pretty crazy. He's looking at like his whole life changed. I got some clips from when I had him on the show. Let's check.
It makes you feel like, well, how do you keep a slave a slave? You know, it's like if this gorilla knew, right, that he could get out of this enclosement, like you put him in this barbed wire fence and all he sees is this fence, he doesn't realize he can get out because I'm gonna prod him. Every time he does something wrong, I'm gonna slap his hand. Whatever the zookeepers do to keep them things thinking that they can't get out, whatever they're in. That's the same kind of concept with these clubs.
Can't hold me down. What's up? Creeping Death says he's going in for club stuff as a civilian and he's out bad. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They don't like band together in jail. Like, you know what I mean? It really doesn't work like that. So he has nothing to worry about, like, in that aspect. I'm sure he can get through prison without them. You know, they don't run the prison in Texas. Maybe they ride around on their bikes out in Texas, but they don't run the prison. Definitely not. And the rules kind of change when you go to prison, I hear. I don't know. I'm not a part of a motorcycle club, but the rules in prison change. And what are they going to do? I mean, if they wanted to do something to him, they probably would have already did it, right? That probably would be really stupid for them to do anything to him now. I really don't think he cares. To tell you the truth. Can't hold me down. What's going on? Thank you for joining me. Here, I got a couple more clips. Let's check.
And you can look it up for yourselves if people could do their own research. And that president of our club or VP or whomever caught P and ran out the back door. Yeah, they pulled up on him, said, hey, we're fighting one-on-one. Mikey did this, and this is verifiable from brothers all over the place. And our guy caught P and ran out the back from Mikey. That's just the truth. So I was told this from hang around on up. So whenever I had my chance, I wasn't leaving.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix this, right?
I had made my phone call, but I'm pacing back and forth. People are coming in, other patch holders, other support clubs are coming in to help them.
So what happens when they come in? What happens with you? What do you do?
I'm going back and forth, talking smack. I'm waiting. I only had a revolver on me at the time. You know, the only person that was with me was a brother I prospected with. And he stood on business right there next to me when he showed up. And he showed up after the fact. Prospect.
Oh, so it already.
Oh, this was my brother of all brothers. And a support guy just so happened to be in the other room when Mikey was making a phone call to all his guys. It's like, if this gorilla knew, right, that he could get out of this enclosement, like you put him in this barbed wire fence and all he sees is this fence, he doesn't realize he can get out. Whatever the zookeepers do to keep them things thinking that they can't get out, whatever they're in, that's the same kind of concept with these clubs. And then on top of that, you have people that have done dirt. People know too much. People this. You got to hold this over their head. They've maybe done stuff they don't want their wife to find out. They've this. It's like this college frat hazing turned up to this really weird, cynical level, to where you're constantly being degraded and humiliated. My former club, the way they used to do prospects, and a lot of people don't know this, but maybe you can understand where these morons are coming from, is they used to all take a big shit in these buckets, in these big tubs, water trough tubs, and every member, full patch member, would piss and shit inside these tubs, and in order to patch in, you have to be submerged inside the member's shit and piss. And That's what people say, legacy. Oh, you submerged your own. The only advice I got from my club was make sure if you got to shoot somebody, the cameras can see you.
What?
Shut your mouth.
Yeah,
And
what are the crazy? We got a lot of content on the way. What's good, Joe? How are you? I just kind of figured he would have a target on his back. Not really, man. If he runs into them, I don't think it will matter. I don't think he cares either. Just saying, it's an odd man out. I think they're all odd men out because once you're in prison, you ain't on your motorcycle no more. You don't have the backing of your club, really. It's kind of doesn't work that way, man. They're not going to let them roll in there and do whatever they want. Don't work like that, especially with something like this. Nah, they'll break them all apart, put them all over the place. If you ever know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles, 100%. Hey, what's good, man? How are you doing? Skinner. Enjoy watching your shows. I appreciate you. Maureen, how are you? Slayer, what's good? Like watching your videos. You make my day, bro. Respect to Pee-wee and the rest of them. Shout out to Pee-wee. Diaz, great victory, which requires no battle. 100%. Easiest way to win a war is not fight it, right? It's see, that's the type of life that I do not want no parts in, you know? And that's why I interview these people, to show you guys that, number one, that they're regular people. They're not like monsters like everybody says they are. Like the headlines portray them to be something else. They're not what the media portrays them to be. Lindsay, how are you? I'm doing good. I have a lung infection, but I'm all right. I'll be all right. I took a few days off, and I need to get some content out there for you guys. But tonight, it is part 3 of the national president for the Thunder Guards MC. Shout out to the Thunder Guard MC. Let's go take a look at a couple.
It worked its way loose until it heat. I didn't know that it worked its way loose, but it laid on that tire, and once that tire heated up with that point in it, it just stopped.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what? They come and get you with a helicopter and everything?
Nah, they wound up in the ambulance going to the hospital. Bike got towed in the ambulance, went to the hospital. But my adrenaline was gone, and I got up and grabbed the bike, moved it off the highway, and went back to my child's mother, and I said, hey, we got to get out of here. And she actually looked at me and said, you might want to sit down.
Don't miss tonight, 10 o'clock, part 3 is dropping. Got a lot more content. Diaz, I'm reading a lot of books and being a leader of 4 of us holding it together won't be more than 1,000 in the next 2 months. Shout out to Diaz. Play you pay, Maureen says. That's right. The world's a crazy place. Crazy shit happening all over. Lots of great content on the way. Eric Audet, if you haven't heard of his story, that one's dropping soon.
How you doing? I'm Eric Audet. I wrote the book 3 Years in Pakistan, the Eric Audet story. If you haven't seen it on Locked Up Abroad or my documentary, 3 Years in Pakistan, you should check it out on Amazon. Also, I'm chatting with Staxx.
That one's dropping real soon. And then I got another one with the Night Sinners, former Night Sinner MC member, Wayne. Shout out to Wayne from Chicago. We got tons of content on the way. And then I got Chris Life Willard. I think that's a 4-part interview. 4 parts. I thought it was more, but it's 4 parts. That's a good one. Really good. Talks how he got 144 years in prison and how he overcame that. It's an insane story. And I just want to thank everybody for subscribing. We hit 14,500 plus subscribers. You guys are great. I'll be back on here tomorrow to share some more with you guys. We're going to dive into some of these stories. I know I missed a lot in the last week, but I'm going to be banging a bunch of content out. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.